it's some aesthetic practices, they'll go through one slow season and give up.
I went through a lot of burnouts through this.
I had a moment where I had a big event last July, and I felt like I was brainwashed by all of the high-level masterminds I was in. Hey, how you guys doing? I want to welcome you to the Content Aesthetic Show, where we take different aesthetic professional, med spa owners, and allow them to share their stories so they can keep inspiring you to thrive and strive for your business. And today's another episode of Gems on Gems on Gems. And our guest today is Mickey. How are you?
Nice to see you again.
Yes. How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you specialize in when it comes to aesthetics.
So my company is Dream Body Studio. So Dream Body Studio is the first ever body studio. So we created the body sculpting lane.
Yes.
We taught over 1,000 women how to get into this lane, how to do body sculpting. We are here in Atlanta. We tried Houston, but I had just had a baby. It didn't really work out. So right now we're just based in Atlanta. We have 2 locations here. And we're looking to, expand, but right now we just Atlanta based. Basically we offer body sculpting, injections, a number of services to help get the body together.
I love that because we had a couple guests that actually went through your program on here, and they shouted you out.
Yeah, I love them. I'm such a girl's girl, so a lot of my students, I still talk to them. I still connect with them. A lot of people say, you can be charging, because you mentoring, but I honestly just like to help them. I like to connect with people. Sometimes I have questions myself. I'm an expert, but I don't just deem myself an expert. I like to reach back to the girls and ask them stuff. So I'm like, let's help each other,
I love that. So what made you get started in the aesthetic field?
So I lived in Miami, Florida, and I actually had like a little room, like a little suite where I was doing facials and stuff. I was doing it under the table, and I actually heard a commercial for Florida College of Natural Health, and so I'm like, Mickey, just go to school. So I ended up enrolling in school, and I just went out from there. When I graduated, I said, you know what? Let's go back home, because Florida wasn't a friendly place. It was more of a crab in a bucket type of thing. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go back to Atlanta. That's when all the groups were forming in Atlanta. And I'm watching people tag each other, shout each other out. And I'm like, Mickey, you need to be a part of that. I came home, and September 2015 is when I started building my spa.
You was ahead of the game.
I was way ahead of the game. Yes, I was way ahead of the game. I started building my spa, and I'll never forget my first ad that I did was with Perez in December 2015, and we just shot up. We went through the roof.
Cause that's when them ads was different.
Yeah, it was hitting different. Then you were actually making a lot of money off of it. Now it's a little different, but then you could make a lot of money, like book up for months off of one post. Like, it was amazing. No one knew what it was. Of course, we had a lot of negative comments. What is this? It doesn't work. But people were steady booking.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And it's almost about to be a decade for you.
Yeah, I know. Right? I know.
How were you able to survive?
Oh my God. That's why I was so excited to do this, because it's so many people that have given up, and they're like, I went through this. I just kept going. I went through enough for everybody in this field. Okay. And when I tell you, I keep going. That's my motto. It's like, if you quit, then what are you going to do? You going to go work at McDonald's? What are you going to do? So through the slow seasons, I kept going. Through just everything. I had one of my offices caught fire, blew up in flames, and I just didn't know what was going on. I'm like, am I cursed? Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just moved to the next one, and I bought that building. It was infested with bugs. Like, when I tell you, I just keep going no matter what. I had people call state board on me every time they had a chance. I had someone stalking my clients,
Yes.
saying, don't go to them. Some girl from Miami just jealous. I went through a lot. But I kept going. You know, a lot of stuff that I went through, it would have made people give up.
Yes.
That's why when people talk to me, I'm very stern with them. That's it. Girl, keep going.
That's it.
Like, it's a little slow right now, but keep going. I went through slow season. I blew over $1 million, you know, and I can honestly say that, like, with the proof. Like, I could show the accounts, you know, but I kept going, you know, no matter what. And that's it, honestly. Like, it's like you quit and then you don't have nothing to show for your hard work.
100%.
So, yeah. And I've went through times where I've been very sad. You know, I'm like, Mickey, you're supposed to be way further. But I realized God put you where exactly he wants you to be.
100%.
And now I'm realizing, Mickey, you was not mature for a lot of stuff that you've been trying to do, you know? So now I'm 32 and I'm like, okay, now you mature. You know, now things are making sense. Now you're organizing things like you need to. So it don't matter your age. You know, God will do things when it's time. At 23, ain't no way. You know, I could have, you know, organized no type of way, you know. So
I love that. For you to even say, I was immature at the time.
I was so immature. I'm just not maturing.
So, because sometimes when we going through that, it's like, no, I'm ready now.
Right.
But when you look back, it's like, what made you be able to look back and say, I wasn't ready?
A lot of stuff, because I'm realizing that I'm just not really mature. I think that's what made me realize. Because then I thought I was ready and I would just be like, well, Mickey, you supposed to have a location here and there. Mickey, you supposed to have this big staff. And then I had to sit myself down and say, Mickey, you letting people project on you. People who don't have a spot, people who don't have nothing going on. You letting them really tell you where you're supposed to be in life when you know you wake up and you know you try your hardest and you know you go hard and you're allowing people to project, you know, and I'm a very humble person, you know, so it's like, just go by what you know, and I feel like I kept going, and I just realized, take one day at a time, one step at a time.
Baby
like
steps.
Even now, like I'm just now getting my RN, and that's another thing.
Congrats.
Thank you. That's what showed me too, because I'm like, back then, baby, you're partying. How you gonna have a baby, be in school, run a bit? Let's be real, you know. Like I'm like, Mickey, you supposed to been got this, you know, just beating myself up. But I think that was one of the things that really showed me that I'm mature now. I sit down, I'm passing my classes, a 96 here, a 95 there, like I'm doing my thing. So and I'm like,
how are you balancing school, motherhood, entrepreneurship?
There's no balance.
I love that.
It's honestly just going forward, and just going with it. Just keep going. If you sit down and you in your head, you overthinking it, then you're never gonna get to that point. But if you just do it, you good, you know?
I love that, because you told me right now, you just talked about how you went through so many different, what I call motivational pinpoints, but some people might look at them as obstacles.
Right, yeah.
They all made you get stronger and scale, but it's some aesthetic practices. They'll go through one slow season and give up.
They give up. It's a lot of them, yeah.
How are you able to say, no, I'm going to keep going?
That's
like,
my
what
motto.
Can you say to them, though?
That's my motto. So I'm going to always say, just keep going. I'm going to say, pray. And I'm going to say, and I hope it don't sound rude, I'm going to say, find your passion. Yes. Find what you good at. Find what you like. I don't care what nobody say. I like to be honest with people. Don't look at Mickey and say, oh, Mickey's doing it. Mickey's thriving. I'm going to try to do this. Sometimes God got you over here. You know, you might be excellent at eyebrows. You might be excellent at eyelashes. You might just be excellent at the booty. Find your niche. Find what's good for you. Over the years, I can say I've tried some of everything. I can honestly say that I have tried eyebrows. I have tried lashes. I have paid thousands for different classes, and I didn't go through with it because I'm like, okay, Mickey, is this your passion, or are you seeing that people are making thousands off eyebrows, so you want to go ahead and throw it on the menu? But it's not your passion. Go to what your passion is. My passion is the body. If you ask my mother, anybody in my family, they'll tell you, I've been working on my body since middle school. I've been wearing girdles since middle school. I got my first lipo at 19, you know? So sometimes you got to find what makes you go, you know?
I love that because
Yeah.
what I'm seeing is a lot of them are one-stop shops,
Yeah.
right? And when you're a one-stop shop, you never specialize in nothing or
Right.
never be known for nothing.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
how were you like, when was that spark in your mind to be like, I'm gonna niche and be for the butt or be for the body or be for this?
When I was doing the butt, it gave me my passion back.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of burnouts through this. So that's another thing, because I know a lot of people go through burnouts. Sometimes you got to rest and know that God got you, and then you get back to it. You know, you got to stay in tune with God. I know people say, oh, that's always what people say, God, but I wouldn't be where I am without God. So you tune in with God, you meditate, you fast, you tune in with yourself, you shut down Instagram, you focus on yourself and figure out what's good for you, what's going to work for you. Body sculpting, I wouldn't touch a body. I was so burnt out. Like, I just had my staff doing the cavitation, the vacuum and stuff. When I started doing the injections, I got my motivation back. It felt good to actually be in there doing the butt, to see the work that came from it. Like, oh my God, their butt is pumping instantly, you know? And that's what told me, okay, Mickey, this your thing. The lipo shots and stuff, that's easy. You know, I'm into weight loss as well. I lost over 60 pounds recently. Congrats. I had a gastric sleeve. I'm always honest. I had a gastric sleeve because I eat too much. And even when I do the lipo shots, I gain it back because of what I eat. But I had a gastric sleeve. I got on semaglutide. That's something we offer too. But it's like that butt that's my thing. I'm loving the results from it. I spend so much time educating myself on it. I've took several classes, even took a class in the United Kingdom because, you know, it gave me that passion back. So I'm just so passion based. You know, it's not about what's making the most money. It's what fuels me. So for somebody who was burnt out and was like, I don't want to do this no more. I was so burnt out, and to just get my fuel back, I just feel like that was God given.
I think like for me, I've been creating content for 14 years professionally. Yeah. And so I left my 9-to-5 in 2010. I started off shooting music videos. So I blew up rappers first. So it's like I blew up a lot of rappers. Like really blew them up from unknown to multi-millionaire status. Wow. And every record label reached out to me because I was able to make the content look bigger than most people at that time. Wow. And then I went from there, I went to shooting movies. And I enjoy shooting movies. And then from there, I went to helping creatives understand business. Then from there, I went to help scaling entrepreneurs. And then from there, I came here to the aesthetic world. So it's like all of the other ones, I felt like it wasn't my God-given thing, always to film, but to help servant leaders, helping people that's helping their community. So when I came over here, I'm like, oh my God.
I love this.
I love it. And I love it because all of the clients are helping the community feel better about themselves. Mostly women. 99% is women feel better about themselves. So now you re-empowering the mother. Now you're re-empowering the woman to take back, to feel natural, because she feed into everybody else, and sometimes she forget herself. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my God.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
I love it. Now the money not there yet for me, but the passion is there. Right. Exactly. And I believe if we stay long term, the money will be there. It's gonna come. You know? It's gonna come. But I love to help the community, and I love to, like, a lot of people don't even know that we behind the scenes are behind the scenes. Yeah. They just show up to the aesthetic practice and they happy. They don't even know, like, oh my gosh, it was this, the king of content helped me get through the door, see your brand and see this. But it's all right. Yeah. Because we get to serve. Right. And that's what I really love.
That's what you love. Yeah. And that's another reason that I love what I do, because we are able to change lives. You know, we are able to make people beautiful. We are able to teach and, you know, change people's lives. That's why when it comes to mentoring, like, I'm very honest. I'm like, baby, I'm still growing, you know, so I don't want to stop and try to mentor your life, because that's when people kind of get upset with you, because they feel like, oh, well, you promised me this and so forth. So I mentor for free, you know, like, I feel like that's my serving point. When students can take the class, you can call me anytime. Like, they call me, they question, they have self-doubt, and I get in their butt. And I'll be like, baby, that's nothing. Keep going.
Yes.
And they'll call me. Sometimes they'll ask me the same thing over and
Yeah.
over. Mickey, where do you ordered it? And I just send it, or I have my assistant send
Yeah.
it. So I feel like that's my serving point. I don't want nothing from y'all. I want to show y'all. Now, the class ain't free, but I want to show y'all after. I'm not trying to just get your money.
Yeah.
I really want you to be successful. You know, I really want you to be able to feed your family. Yeah, I really want you to be able to feed your family. I really want you to, you know, be able to make the money that you need to make to grow. So I'm big on that as well.
Why are you big on that?
It's just in me. It's just, that's the type of person that I've always been my whole life. Like, I've always been genuine. I always been sweet. I'm a little introverted, you know, and I'm actually trying to break out of that. But I've always been like a giver. I've always been somebody that wants to help everybody. Sometimes I overgive. I'm too nice sometimes. That's why sometimes when I hear people say, that's why I linked up with Candace, because people would say, shout out to Candace, that's my girl. People would say, oh, I heard you was mean, or mean girl, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's because, you know, I'm not super, you know, connecting with people and everything. So when I connected with Candace, I connected with a lot of other women, you know, that even took my class, and they was able to see I'm a girl's girl, you know, I love others, but I'm just introverted, and I'll be focused on my goals, you know.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes you can get distracted.
You can get distracted, yeah.
That's why I say to myself, I
say to myself,
I'm on a little remote island to myself, and I'm just serving from here, because you know, you can get distracted, and sometimes you be thinking other people's blessings should be your blessings.
Yeah.
And that ain't true.
Yeah.
So the only way you can actually focus on growing and focus on scaling is to have clarity. And sometimes that don't happen. Yeah.
You said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. And I say that, and every time I've said it, it seems to come off kind of, because I always say, I don't hang with a lot of body sculptors. I don't. I never have, because I'm one person. I'm not saying somebody else is not going to keep growing, but I'm one person. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep growing. And a lot of people don't receive that well. So when you're doing the exact same thing, sometimes they might look at you and like, well, what you got going on that I don't got, you know? And no matter how much you pour into them and motivate them, some people can't see it from that type of eye, you know?
And they won't.
Yeah.
They won't.
Yeah. I have students, even that was your guest. She came and took a couple classes with me. She have supported me throughout the years. That's why that's one person. She can call me at any time, the body nursery. She can call me anytime. Just the support and love she's shown me, because some students, they have took my class and just start hating me for no reason, because I guess they realize, okay, this not a passion, or maybe it's not taking off for them like they thought it would. So they'll post me, say hateful things, just all type of stuff. So those that love and support me, I love and support them. I post her. I tell them go support her. Like, anybody that loves me, I show love back. I don't care about your amount of followers. I've never been like that. I always been super humble. I never been into clout. You know, I always it don't exist. I always say to myself, baby, I don't care how many followers you got. None of that. Let's blow her up. Let's tag her. And, you know, I've always just been like that.
I believe if somebody go out and they have some type of hate, or they get mad, 9 times out of 10 is because they dropped the ball and they not willing to hold themselves accountable.
Exactly.
And then they believe, okay, I came to get the sauce. I got the sauce. Now I got to go against the person who gave me the sauce, because we competition.
Right.
So it's mindset, but you will never win like that.
Exactly.
If somebody helped me with 1 little inch, I'm forever grateful for life.
I'm trying to tell you.
For life. And if something go wrong, or somebody miscommunicates something and I hear about that it came from that person, I'm going to personally reach out to that person. I will never go to social media. I will never say nothing to behind their back. I will always go to them first.
Right. Yeah.
And I say, hey, I don't know about this, but I heard this. I just need some clarity. What happened with this said out of wrong context of this, and just get some clarity. You know what I'm saying? But if anybody go at you online, it's because they think that they have to. They think if you win and they can't win. And that's a poor mentality. They'll never win. They'll never grow. They're going to always be small-minded, because war never brought nothing good.
Exactly. Never. I love that.
You know, so it's like,
and on that, like he said, your win is not a lose for me. You know, and I feel like when people realize that, the world will be so much better. You know,
I ain't even got time for no wake up. I'm gonna tell, hey, Keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you.
Right.
Like, I always believe everybody around me is supposed to be able to fly away one day.
Period.
They should be able. They supposed to be able to grow. I should have been able to give them enough tools to build a infrastructure.
Yep.
So I'm already prepared for you to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already prepared. I prepared you to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when God give me a tool, he give me the tool to be able to reproduce. And when I reproduce the tool and I give it to you, he don't take mine away.
Exactly. Oh my God.
He don't take mine away. I still got all my tools.
Right.
And you got a tool because it was meant for me to get it and be able to pass it.
Exactly. Why they don't understand that?
Because they ain't leaders.
Yeah.
They ain't leaders.
Right.
Serving leaders come to serve. And we understand. I'm all right with being behind you. I'm all right with being behind the scene.
Right.
I'm going to cheerlead you. I'm going to put my head to the side to make sure yours good. But if I see that you taking advantage of it, then I'm out the way.
Right. See, and that's another thing, because I've had people, I'm the type, God did not give me that jealous spirit that, hey, I never have it. Yeah, I never had it. So I'm the type, especially when I see somebody doing their thing and trying, baby, I'm going to post you. I'm going to just throw you up in my story. You don't have to ask me. You don't have to do nothing. But he also gave me a disarmament where it's like, if you trying to get next to me, you know, and like you said, like you hear the chatter, oh, I'm going to just get her to post me. You know, I done had people come to my class, talk about me, the whole class behind my back.
That's wild.
And then this person tell me, mind you, they was talking about me with them. But long story short, like those type of people I keep away, you know, and then you writing me, hey, can you post me business? Hell no. You know,
it's a no.
It's a
Sorry,
no. You know, so
not.
It's like you'll run into a lot of that. That's why I feel like disarmament is important. Even in business, when you hire everything, everybody not going to be genuine, you know, but the people that are genuine, I love to show love, you know.
I attempt my hardest to bring people around me that is genuine and care about the mission.
Right.
Like not just about $1.
Right.
See, because if you care about $1, you ain't gonna last long.
Exactly.
But if you care about the mission, you gonna make so much money that you never even thought about. Like I made millions of dollars. I never thought so coming from Chicago.
Right.
Like from where I'm from, my upbringing would not have told me early on, hey bro, you will be young and successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to manage your money too.
Oh. That's the part that people don't talk about. That's the part
you got to manage your money because you're going to have a slow season. You're going to have good seasons. You're going to have this and that. But just stay genuine. Even when you're going through your bad seasons, don't change your character.
Exactly.
Even when you're going through your up seasons, don't change your character.
Yeah.
Because your slow seasons ain't gonna last forever.
Exactly.
And your up seasons, if you don't maintain and you don't manage, ain't gonna last forever.
You're gonna have a lot of down seasons. Yeah. And I feel like that's important. You know, that's real important. And just being genuine, I feel like God blesses you according to your heart. You know, I have had moments where I sit back and I'm like, bad people getting, you know, they blessings, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know who them blessings coming from, but I personally feel like God blesses you according to your heart. So I would never allow nothing and nobody to change my heart. Even when people be like, okay, you too soft, or you letting this happen, I don't care. Because I just feel like it's a reason. You know, I made it out of where I made it out of. I'm from the east side of Atlanta. I have been a stripper. I have been a waitress, all type of things. And I would look back at the girls in the club and I have honestly had moments where I'm like, what made him change me? You know, I have seen girls still in the club, go to Miami, go to the office. They're still there. And I have had moments where I'm like, what is it about me that separated me so much? Because I don't see a lot of girls make it out of that life. And I'm like, it gotta be your heart. You know, I couldn't think about nothing else. So I just moved just so genuine. I love others. I don't care what you do. You're not gonna make me, you know, hate or be, you know, in that type of vibration, because you know, I just feel like that's why I was so blessed. Even when I got into this field, I have, you know, also said, God, you have really kept me. You know, you have kept me focused. You have kept me going no matter what. And I don't take it for granted, you 100%. Know? So
I, every day I go outside and I tell God I'm grateful. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And I did not used to do that because I used to be like, well, I want a bigger this, I want a bigger that, I want
Right.
a better that.
We all have the moments.
But
yeah.
it's like I didn't never take time to say I'm thankful.
Mm.
And so I had went through a bad entrepreneur season.
Yeah.
The worst I ever done as an entrepreneur. Like when you go from making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to making barely $20,000. And you get to realizing, but you got to buy all this unnecessary stuff that didn't make you, because you wanted to fit in, or you wanted to be looked at. Like, I'm like, hold up. No, I'm good. I'm content. Like, let me build this business. Let me scale my business to $100 million in the next 5 years. What do I have to give up? I sold my Bentley. I do Uber every day. I'm at the office. I'm here 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm growing. I'm scaling. I'm in one lane, and I'm focused on making sure my clients get results that they ain't never knew they can get.
Wow.
And so, but what was I willing to do? I took my overhead and I brought it down. The only thing I do now is I don't got no extra stuff. It's just my mortgage, my kids' schooling, and my kids' tutoring and extracurricular activities. Everything else I threw away.
Wow. You sound like me. I did the same.
You know?
I did the exact same.
Yeah.
And I had that same mindset.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I first started making my money, I bought a G-Wagon cash. Yeah. Guess what? It broke down every other month.
Yeah.
Every other month, I'm spending, it was never no less than $2,000. $2,000 was the minimum.
Yeah.
I'm spending this, I'm spending that. When I got pregnant with my daughter, I still had to get a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Went and got a Mercedes. You know, because I'm like, I can't have a car breaking down and so forth. Since I had my daughter, I went through a lot of up seasons.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of down seasons. It was up and down. Now it's very steady. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Mortgage, my Range Rover, my daughter's school. Like, I'm not going to the mall every weekend. I used to go to Lenox every single weekend. Like, just balling out. But I've learned so much. That's why I don't beat myself up no more. I used to beat myself up every morning, wake up like, Mickey, you have built this big platform. People are looking at you, and you might be scaling somewhat, but not scaling on Instagram timing. I call it Instagram timing, because they expect you to be posting something big and grand every day, when I'm like, that ain't real life.
Highlight reels.
Right. I'm like, that's not real life. You know, you can be scaling behind the scenes, but in the Instagram world, I'm like, they expect you to do this, they'll do them. And then that's when I realized, like, all that stuff is not important.
It ain't real.
It ain't real. It ain't real.
I think that's the biggest thing, because I learned, like, I had a moment where I had a big event last July, and I felt like I was brainwashed by all of the high-level masterminds I was in. Yeah. And I'm talking about every high level. I was in the top of the top, $250,000 a year just on masterminds, right?
Wow.
And they brainwashed me to believe that I had to make my $1 million day. I had to make my $1 million day. And so at my last event, and last year, my last big event, I was like, I got the wrong people in the room. That moment I said that, I ended the event and I shed a tear, because who in the hell do I think I am to say I got the wrong people, because they couldn't buy my opportunity. And it was like 6 people that was homeless. Not homeless. They traveled from out of town, but they were sleeping in a car because they couldn't afford the hotel, because the hotel was $400 a night. It was a 3-day event. And they slept in a car 3 days to hear me speak.
Wow.
And so at that moment, I realized that I'm
caught up. Yeah, I'm caught up.
I took a 45-day sabbatical. And I said, when I come back, I'm not serving everybody. I got to find one industry. And that's when I said, come to aesthetics. I spoke at Candace event September 17th last year.
Is that when I met you? Yeah.
I spoke at that event, and I signed up some people at the back of the room when I got done speaking.
Wow.
And when I signed them up, I realized I'm coming here, but I'm going to stay here for at least 10 years, and I'm going to serve this community unlike anybody else.
Because I ain't seen nobody do it like you do it.
But
so you doing it.
Yeah, but I realized y'all servant leaders. And so I'm just here to empower. Right. And so I don't have to think about, my overhead ain't crazy no more. So I don't have to think about, this gotta happen. Like when you making a lot of money, you got a lot of overhead every month. And then every new dollar gotta come in every new month. People don't think about that.
Right.
every month a brand new dollar has to be made
Exactly.
for you to make payroll, for you to make this, for you marketing, all of this, everything, lifestyle. And so it's like, we ain't building like that. My pastor said something in July. He said his sermon was, "It is okay to start small." I never knew that it was okay to start small. I always was brainwashed, go big or go home. So everything I did, I always did on big level. And so now we're building this piece by piece, and I'm grateful. But I had to learn that.
Yeah.
And and he said, I'm in my early 30s, and he said, at least you learned it now, because everybody go through it, but some people take longer to learn it, to see it.
Right. Yeah. And I've always, I guess I could say God showed it to me early. I always tell my students it's okay to start small. When I started, my room was that size in Miami. Yeah. And then I came to Georgia. I had 2 of those and 1 little small lobby. And then I moved to a bigger suite. The reason I messed up was, and you know how people say, I remember Oprah said a quote where she said, every time I made a bad decision, I was trying to impress others. I was in my building when I moved from that small one and I got one that had 7 rooms, I was good. I was content. I had started remodeling it, everything. And I remember, let's be honest, let's be real, I was caught up with the Instagram stuff where people, you still here? I never forget, the maintenance guy had came back and he was like, you still here? I thought you would have been in Buckhead somewhere. That sat on me for a month. Like, when you just in a vulnerable space, like everything just affects you so deeply. And when it was one room that caught fire. And when that caught fire, I was like, okay, this is my sign. I need to go in and buy a building. So went through months of paperwork, had to get my boyfriend to sign with me, all type of stuff. And I you can feel it in your stomach when you're making a wrong decision. I felt it all the way. I did it anyway. One of the worst decisions I ever did. I got drugged to court because I tried to just leave. And they like, oh no, you gonna have to pay. They was saying like $200,000. It was a lot. Like they was like, no, like you can't.
Oh, they want the remainder of the lease?
No, we were buying the building.
Oh, so how did you? If you was in the process of buying it, what happened to make them like?
I was trying to leave the building
before you bought it. Before it closed.
I was closing. I was in the middle of closing.
Oh wow.
And I was trying to leave the building. I was just like, I'm done with it.
Yes.
You got to do something. Yeah. They would not let me just walk away. And I was just stuck. But I ended up moving to something smaller. Yeah. And it just felt like this is your time to save, have a low overhead. Yes. The rent is like $1,800. It's so much smaller than anything that I've had except for the first one. But I'm able to remodel it and make it mine. And I'm more happier than I've been in years because it's like the overhead small. Yes. Like it's a breeze. I'm working on my training school. Just, doing everything piece by piece. I had my time where I was extremely frustrated because it torments in my brain. Mickey, you've been doing this so long, you're supposed to be further, but I'm like, you just
compared to what though?
Exactly, it's nothing,
right? Because
it's nothing to compare
some of the Fortune 500 companies that have been doing this our lifetime, literally,
yeah,
and they're just now making it there.
Wow.
We're just now learning this.
Wow.
They have 2 lifetimes ahead of us. Wow. So when we look at Oprah, when we look at them, they're double our age.
Yeah, that's true.
So they did not start getting known to like our time. Like it took them time. So it's like, I say, look at it like this. Once you start your business, you start from there. Baby steps. So if your business is 1 year old, then you only 1 year old.
Right.
If your business is 5 years old, you're only 5 years old. If your business is 21 years old, you're only 21.
Yeah.
You ain't even had enough time. When you was at 21, you was messing up. So I'm 14 years in. So I'm telling you, and we're the same age. So it's like, at the end of the day, we cannot worry about this small pivot moment in the world.
Exactly.
This glimpse is going to go away. And so what we have to realize is, how will we have our business say since 2015? Right? Most of the business we see today say since 2021.
Wow.
So, but the big companies that's around been, since 1789.
And they just getting
Come
up
on,
there.
come on.
Wow.
So it's like
Yeah.
we have to have patience with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We got to allow ourselves time to fall, get up,
Right.
fall and give up, get up. We cannot let Instagram, business, overnight success
Yeah.
get to our mind. I don't care about what they got going on.
Exactly.
I ain't
Yeah.
spending my money on that.
Right.
I'm okay. I'm over here building one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
This business, the King of Content, we're a content firm. We're not a
Right.
marketing agency. We're not an agency.
Yeah.
We're a content firm.
Right.
Everybody around here has to look presentable.
Mm-hmm.
We're not playing. We're going to always be professional. We're going to give our clients top notch because
Right.
we're going to be around a long time.
Exactly.
When we named ourselves the King of Content, we named it because we mean business.
We the kings of content, okay?
We're gonna be here for a long hundreds
Mm-hmm.
of years.
And I think that's what keep me going too, because I've never did my business based on let's make some money. You know, it's always been I see us all over the world.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah.
You know, I see us on cruise ships. I see us, you know, just everywhere. So I'm like, Mickey, you know, it's gonna take some time. You're still building. You're
Yeah.
still working. And I just thank God, by God's grace,
Yes.
you know, since we've been open, you know, we staying afloat. You know, we have really good seasons. We
Yes.
have really bad ones. But
How are you with them J's right now? Them Junes and Julys.
they good.
They did good for
So
you.
let me tell you, you can ask anybody sculptor.
Yeah.
November, at the end of November through early January is when you better have another business running. That's when you need to pivot. So that is always the slowest season for us. So
Yes.
we take that season to like teach and stuff like that because it's always slow.
Yeah.
So June, July, good because people are working on their summer bodies. But that winter, people doing Christmas, back to school,
That's crazy.
holidays.
Because everybody else is like the opposite. Like
Really?
so the triple J's is not good for them. January,
Wow.
June, and July. Oh no.
Even people in the body industry?
Oh no. So like a lot of people this June and July.
Mm. So nobody never said nothing about December?
Nah.
Oh.
January.
Early January before the taxes hit.
Them triple J's.
Yeah.
No, leave them alone.
What? See, when taxes hit, we off the chain.
Yeah.
We can't even keep up with
Yeah.
it when taxes hit. Then,
Yeah.
you know, it trickles down. And then summer, it's always good because people are working on their bodies. So,
I love that. I think what happens is they have to make sure, like, when it comes to January, all the triple J's, be doing webinars, be educating, be doing
Yeah.
events, be doing something instead of waiting for a
Right.
miracle. Like,
it's never gonna come. I'm trying to tell you. Trust me, I know. It's never, and don't be afraid to pivot. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people scared to pivot and change. And you got, this is one thing I know that I've learned about the aesthetics field. It's just like the hair industry.
Yeah.
Like us Black women are just kind of really coming into this and
Yes.
taking over it. Most of the time, Black women are known for doing hair and just other things. So now we're getting into the aesthetics field. A lot of us didn't know that it's constantly growing.
Yes.
If you would have asked me, I would have told you I would be doing body sculpting forever. I would have told you that I found my niche. I'm gonna forever do vacuum therapy. I'm gonna forever do cavitation. I'm gonna forever do all this. And then I learned, oh, this changed too. Like the
Yes.
hair game, like wigs, and it changes out too, like the nails.
Yeah.
Now we spending $200. It used to be $40. You
Yes.
know, now we're getting gel. So a lot of people don't know the aesthetics field is the same way. Now everyone's getting injections.
Yeah.
So go to school, hire people. You got to learn how to pivot. You can't be trying to, no offense to nobody, you can't just be trying to push cavitation right now because people are on to something new. Once they see something new, they want to get the new thing. And I'm hoping these injections stick around, but they're going to want something new in a minute, you know? So it's a constantly pivoting field, and you got to pivot. You got to grow with the times. You can't get comfortable. So,
I love that. And that's big.
yeah.
So tell me, how are you when it comes to content?
I want to work with you. Let's start there.
Okay.
I definitely want to work with you. I definitely love what you have going on. what I did tell you, well, I don't think I told you that. I don't think I wrote back. I reached out, and then when you said it, I don't think I wrote back. But it's only because, look, we being real. It's only
I didn't say no
because-
numbers.
Oh, you didn't, but I felt like I had did a retainer situation, and I'm like, everybody is on this retainer thing, and I get it because my husband, my fiance does retainers, and it's because that's what keeps him going. Like, he get about 10 retainers. He is good. And I get it. But everybody, because I said I'm going to get into marketing more with others. I told you I'm an introvert. I have not had the best partnership working with people. I'm good at working by myself. And normally I post, we go viral. And we do really good. I post, we book up. So I've always just posted my own videos, posted my own before and afters. But I'm being honest with myself, Mickey, it's time to grow your brand. There's always a next level to go to. So when I jumped out and was like, I wrote you, and then I remember you was like, you doing the, no, it was before that. I did a retainer with somebody, and it just was not good for me. So when you said that, I'm like, oh, like,
I think the biggest thing is
everybody want a retainer.
well, I think that's retainer's always been around, right? It's been around forever. Like, if you want the best relationships, we got to keep going.
Of
right?
course.
I don't know whoever them people was, but I want to tell them they got to take and get their business together, because if they're not doing good business, they will never survive, right? And so for us, it's like, I want a long-term relationship with my clients.
Yeah, of course.
Like, if our clients got to leave, they cry. They cry. And it's not like they want to leave us because something might have happened in their life and they cry. Because we go over and beyond. It's bigger than content with us.
Right.
Content is what you came for. Mentorship, all of this, like, it'd be crazy. Like, but we dare to communicate. Communication rules the nation, right? And so if something is wrong, if you don't like this, it's all a conversation,
right?
Like, we don't go ghost. You know where to find us. We easy to be accessible, and I think that's the biggest thing. But in order for us to grow, we have to keep building,
right?
And so we don't do one-offs. One-offs don't work. So I would never do something for somebody that I know don't work.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, and I used to do this. That's how I know it didn't work. Oh, we'll shoot the content and hand it to you and nothing happened. It might never see the day of light. It might never get no convergence. It might not do nothing it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now you will think, the content don't work. But you did one time.
Now they talking mess.
Yeah, you'll do a one time thinking it's supposed to miraculously happen overnight. No, it's a buildup. And so what happens is, how we do it, you got to be with us for 6 months minimum.
Right.
But if you don't like being with us, you can leave at any time.
Right.
And vice versa. If we don't like being with you, we're going to
cut you
off. If
off.
you're disrespectful to the team, if you can't respect your team, we won't work with you. We'll send you I miss to send you your money back. It ain't that serious.
Right.
And that's what it is, because like I said, we're for serving leaders. If you want to dominate and you want to serve your community, you want to be top, that's
come
what we
to the king of content.
That's it. That's it. But it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It might take some people, everybody different. Their input might not be as good as we expecting. So it might be slow. It might take them 18 months. It might take them 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're here to help you the whole time.
Right. Yeah. And one thing I want to say is, and I'm going to take my own advice, stop cutting corners, because I feel like you are in this field, you know this field, you're an expert, at doing what you're doing. And me and my friend was having a conversation, and we definitely brought you up because she was like, okay, you're teaching this other person how to shoot the butt, how to do this, how to shoot the spot, how to pay all this. When just go work with somebody, who knows what they're doing, who is in this field. And I feel like everybody should take that advice. When you're growing, find experts, only work with experts, because now you're frustrated because they don't know what to do. They don't know what's going on. Even when I had a PR, no offense to nobody, but they were just putting me like in magazines and stuff like that. And I'm like, baby, that's not what I need. I want you to connect me to superstars, and I need them to come through my spa, and even me and my friend, we have passionate conversations where I'm trying to break down to people what spas need. You don't need to be in every magazine and you paying somebody all these thousands a month to be your PR, to put you in magazines, to have you go to events where if you're an introvert like me, I'm not going to talk to nobody. So it was a waste of time.
So do you feel like it was just too early for you for PR?
No, it's honestly finding an expert who knows spas.
Yeah.
Just like, spa content, it's finding an expert. When someone wants something done, they want $1 million floors and all that, they go cut corners and spend a couple thousands. Now you hate your floors because you're not going to the experts. Find somebody who know what they're doing. It's gonna cost a little bit more, but it's gonna come out right. So that's what I say about coming to Dream Body for your services. But no, honestly, that's just what I've been through. So my goal is to work with like every expert what I need. I want to find even a PR who understands exactly what I need. I've had celebrities come through and it's not consistent, but they have came through because just off our name, but I want a PR to connect me to where we're constantly getting celebrities in and so forth.
I love that. And I love how you said that because at the end of the day, being an expert takes nonstop obsessiveness. You got to be obsessed with the industry. Like I'm learning so much in this industry. Like that's all we do all day. And it's like, oh, I like this.
Right.
Oh, I could break down every level of semaglutide, mesotherapy, triceptage. Like I could tell you about GLP-1 and how it tricks the brain. Like I love this stuff. But what happens is I basically feel like I'm a ghostwriter for my clients because I help them talk. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I have to learn the ins and outs of everything they do because I'm amazing. Giving them their words. Mm-hmm. It's not my words. I don't want them. Right. I want you to always to shine. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes for our clients to shine. Right. Because our core values is number 1, go over and beyond. Mm-hmm. Number 2, excellence is the standard. And number 3, help our clients serve better than anybody else in their market.
Exactly. Exactly.
Serve better.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, all right, they doing this, but this is not going to work and this is not going to work because of this. Yeah. But if we was to slightly change this, this will work.
This will work. Yep.
And so that's why we have to be with us for a while because we're testing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We're sitting here playing we testing new things. Like, Mickey should do this. Oh, Mickey, how about you think? What you think about this?
We're going to see if it works. Yeah.
Hey, Mickey, we're going to let you know. Hey, Mickey, we like this thing. Can we test this? Like we still do our core thing, but can we test this over here? Mm-hmm.
And I'm down to test the waters. Right. I'm always down, but I find myself always being the teacher, so it will be very refreshing to work with somebody who passionate like me and who understand because people don't be getting it. They don't be getting it.
Our first client was House of Couture, Stormy.
I seen her. Right? Yeah, I like her.
And at the event, she signed up at the event, right? Yeah. And she signed up September, but disappeared for a whole month. She was going through life. She almost gave up. Yeah. And so she ended up shooting her content. Her first piece of content came out November 15th. At that time, Stormy was doing $15,000 a month. February 15th, she blew up. She went from $15,000 a month to $109,000 a month.
Yeah. We do about that.
And it was crazy because she ain't been down. But what happened was that spark, we went from 1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients to 55 clients. Wow. And then it was like, okay, how can we keep better serving our clients? So every little thing we see like a problem somewhere, we build. I go and license softwares. Yeah. I do so much to better. When I see a problem, I fix, but I put my money up first. Mm-hmm. And I'm making sure my client, okay. So I listen. I'm a listener. And so what she told, like Stormy love us because we'll test some new stuff with her every time. Hey, we should do this. Let's go do this. Oh, let's run this webinar.
Let's just try it.
Let's do this over here. And she's always okay. Yes. Yeah. I love working with people that is coachable. Right. I never, like that was the biggest thing I see in the mindset shift. Yeah. If somebody's coachable or non-coachable, if they're going to listen to the small things, then they're eventually going to get to the bigger things. Exactly. And that's the one thing I'm so happy that she was our first client. Right. And still to us to this day. Right. Wow. And so we named our aesthetic room after we dedicated the whole set to her. Oh. Because she made us a believer. Right. If we would have got anybody else, we probably would have dipped. I promise you, we would have left. But to have her as our first client, then everything got to, we was like, okay, it's just their mindset. Right. Yeah. This person, they gave up before they even got started.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
And
love
it feels good to work with people. Of course, you know who's passionate and like you said, teachable, but also sometimes you want to be a student. You
Yeah.
know, it feels good to be a student and
Yeah.
somebody teach you something new. Like
Yes.
it kind of can get frustrating where you're constantly trying to explain, well, do
Yeah.
this and do, you know, it's so I look forward to working with you. You know, I want to see what you got, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Long as it's not too much, because
I don't know what such thing as too much. You know, I don't know what too much means.
Yeah.
You know what it is, because it's like I look at it as like when you getting another partner
Yeah.
that believes in your vision,
Mhm.
but then that partner comes with a bunch of other partners. It's like you could go hire an employee
Yeah.
and you wouldn't be able to get all of this information or all of this army behind you from that price.
Right.
And so I look at it as like, we're gonna serve the community. It take an army.
It take an army. I believe it.
You know, and I love that. So what I want you to do is I want you to look in this camera,
Okay.
and I want you to I want you to talk to an aesthetic professional
Okay.
that might be going through it right now. What would you say to keep them going?
To any aesthetic professional that's going through it, my first thing, y'all, I've been saying it for almost 10 years now. Keep going no matter what. You're going to have good seasons. You're going to have bad seasons. And it is so important to find your niche. That's one thing you heard me say a lot. There's one thing he has said a lot. Finding your lane and finding your niche. A lot of people they like, I want to do the laser. I want to do this. I want to do all that. Find something you're extremely good at. Study it. Be extremely passionate about it. And just keep going. You know, like that is the biggest thing. Do not let a slow season define you. And another thing, don't be afraid to pivot. You know, a lot of girls, you're doing the capitation. You're like, oh, well, I don't have this license. I don't have that. Go get it. You know, one thing about it, I have started and stopped school. I'm 32 now. I have started and stopped school. Now I'm 32 and it feels like the right time. I'm succeeding. I'm doing great. At 23, 24, 25, I could never have focused like I am now. So just have faith in God, sit down with God and make sure, you know, your vision is very clear. That's important too, because a lot of people like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. One thing that I do myself is I focus on one thing at a time. So I brought out the lipo shots. I did it for a long time. And then I studied the butt for months before anybody ever seen it. For months, I'm studying it. I'm taking a class here. This person done took my money and they ain't learned nothing. I'm taking a class here and I'm like, okay, I learned this, but I'm not confident. Then I take a class here. I kept getting education until I got it right. So that's very important. Just if you passionate about something, focus on it. You're gonna succeed no matter what. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. I'm one person, I don't mind helping y'all. I am not mean. I am a girl's girl. I'm just a little introverted. I don't care if you took my class or not. I'm always open to help. I love to help people that are serious. That's my thing. If you just doing something, you ain't really doing it, you gonna irritate me. But if you really trying and you trying to figure this out, reach out to me. I will help you. I do not mind giving advice, and, you know, just kind of helping guide people. A lot of people reach out to me. Where do I get this machine? Where do I order it? I do not mind helping others, and just keep going. Like, that's the most important thing I could say is keep going no matter what, y'all. I done went through hell and high waters. I don't care how Instagram look. I'm not afraid to say that I went through a lot, guys. But I just keep going. I pray. I ask God to keep my vision clear. And I focus on one thing at a time. Like, understand, you don't have to start with the biggest and best spa. Guys, I have Dream Body Studio now. I started in a 1-room suite, okay? So if you in your 1-room suite, make it the best suite that they ever seen. Do your content and just keep going. A lot of people ask like about social media. direction should I go? I say it's two directions. It's be extremely educational or be funny. You know, it does not hurt to get on there, do a couple jokes, do a couple TikToks. If you feel like you're a serious person, then get on live every day and educate people. People love to be educated. People are not really caring about all the followers and stuff. They care about who is educating them the most. If you can get on here and you can break down this service to me and you can tell me this, then you who I'm going to go to. I'm not looking for the followers. You know, I'm looking for somebody who's going to take care of my body and do my body right. I go get fillers and all type of stuff all day long. I'm always in somebody else's spa, but I look for the experts. I like to know that you know what you're doing. I don't care about the celebrities. I don't care about the followers. It's all about you know what you're doing. I'm going to have good results. And that's all that matters. Focus on getting good results.
Mickey, if you can say one superpower, your superpower, what would that be?
My superpower is definitely having a passion for what I do. And keep going. That's all I can tell people, because people, they just want to give up. I have tried other things. That's what I was going to say. I have tried other things. Like I said, November through late November through early January, we always get slow. It's always slow. So I have tried to open up a seafood company. I have tried to open up a daycare. I have tried to do so many different things. I did not let that get me down. I have invested in things. It was one point my credit was really bad, and I'm investing in things out of pocket, like spending my last, and it did not pan out. And I allowed God to guide me, and I kept that faith. And then next season, I'm backlit, you know? And I just keep going no matter what. I don't let no hard time define me no matter what. So that's important. So if you're going through it right now, that is not your end season. That's not the end. And also, don't get caught up on social media, because I be going on and on. But I've had times where I look here and I look there and I get unmotivated because I'm like, oh, Mickey, you're not moving fast enough. And I know people look at Dream Body. Oh, Dream Body doing it big, Dream, da-da-da-da. I done went through it, you know, and I done started small, but I just keep going. So don't look at what people see on Instagram, because we're not posting our failures. We posting the highlights and the good stuff and everything. So don't let Instagram deter you or, you know, feel like you're not doing enough. God got you exactly where he needs you to be. And long as you have faith that my good season is coming around, and when that season come around, you better stay humble. You better save your money, and you better stay focused.
So, Mickey, I want to thank you for your time.
Okay.
First of all,
I know I talk too much.
No. When you pouring in, when you giving, ain't no such thing as too much.
That's why I was so excited for this, because I really be like, we got to help these girls. I don't be having time to just mentor, but I'm always here to help. Yes. So it's important to me.
Well, I want to thank you for your time today. I want to
thank
you for dropping your knowledge. I want to thank you for even helping your community. I want to thank you for not giving up. I want to thank you for being okay to pivot. I want to thank you for, you know, being a mother, still growing in your business, still scaling in your education so you can better serve. I want to thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Because that's hard.
It's hard.
It takes courage, but you got it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go out here and educate thousands of other women and giving them your sauce and your stuff, but you're doing it.
Because I don't be want to, but but if it changed my life, it's going to change somebody else's life. Let's do it.
I love it.
I've taught people for free. You know, like I really just be like, listen, it's a lot of money in this. I have friends call me, I want to do the injections. Come on, girl. Let me teach you. Come get this money.
I love it. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. And you're amazing. I look forward to working with you.
Let's make it happen.
Let's drop this content.
Let's make it happen. All right, guys, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to today's episode of the Content Aesthetic Show. I want you to know that it is okay to pivot. I want you to know that it is okay to keep going. You might be going through a season, but don't let that season determine you. And I want you to make sure that you are always authentically you when you show up, because that is your representation. Whatever you're going through for this small amount of time is not going to last long. So don't let this small amount of time determine who you are. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Content Aesthetic Show with Dontel Antonio.